So it's been an interesting time. The last 2.5 months, I've been in Australia in the Southern Hemisphere, and now I'm back in UK where I live. The energy here in UK is very different to the energy in South Australia where I was staying. It's been a very, I always feel like I'm on a mission when I'm traveling between one place and the other, sort of like the transporter of the codes. And definitely through QHHT, I'm doing regular regressions and I'm also experiencing how those, I guess the higher source light is working through us as light workers to be activating and healing into the grids and into the different um, container of energy so that we become more fluent, more aligned to that new earth frequency. It's really a beautiful journey and it's quite amusing because every time I'm writing in my journal and I do keep a digital journal, so it allows me to look back and I can see on this day for many years prior, going back into, well, I don't know, 2017, 2018, since I've been keeping it. So I can really see my own journey and where I was on this particular day all those years ago and even just last year, and how that reflection is helping me personally to truly understand how far we are progressing and the work that is being called in and the work that is being done. The higher vibrations that are constantly moving through us at this time that are encapsulating just a higher embodied consciousness. And yet, all we need to do to really truly embrace that is to bring it into our heart, to anchor that into the heart, and to bring that down into the new earth heartbeat as well. So we're fully grounded through all those crystalline frequencies and grids of the new earth as well. We just, by being, and then that embodying stillness. So, in that stillness, like as humans, I think we're brought up to believe that we need to just do. We need to be doing something to be able to achieve. Where it's been curious because, again, my personal journey through QHHT this year and doing multiple regressions, um, I've really experienced such a massive shift where I was push, and now I'm just constantly being shown to be still. Just come back into that still point, just be still. And in that stillness, it's like I see that energy expand and that it's like it breathes around me as I just sit there in stillness. And I really love embodying that feeling. It's just such a beautiful, phenomenal feeling. And I'm not trying to connect into anything or be anything more than I am, except in stillness and that sense of peace and tranquility. I was actually thinking the other day that it's been um, I used to have quite a noisy mind, and my journey through living, a very large portion of my life with fibromyalgia and chronic fatigue to being, what I would call 100% healed here and now has been phenomenal. And I used to have a very noisy mind. I didn't know how to meditate when I first started this journey. I just kept hearing that, hey, that's the path to healing. So I did what I could to learn how to do that. But it's definitely taken me a lot of years to really be still in my mind and to have a quiet mind and to have a quiet heart and to be anchored within that higher energy frequency where I just where I know thought is action, and I'm aware of, it's almost like being aware of when a thought happens, and that web of consciousness that is interconnected through so many different, not just me, but that shared environment of life and the grids and the planet and the different realities of what that planet is, or this moment in time, as this aspect of who I am is across so many different experiences in parallel or past, future, and bringing that all into a convergence point. So here in the now moment, we're still in all realities. It's just right here, right now, and that's enough. And if we anchor that light in and we imagine that that is just pure peace across all those aspects of who we are, then that is bringing this harmonic alignment through all aspects of our soul. And it's consolidating all the disruptive timelines, if you will. So those webs of consciousness become stronger and more definitive within the source frequency and our true light, which I think is really beautiful when they show it to me like that, and how we can create coherence then with others and this existence that we're living, so that the source frequency and that source light doesn't just embody who we are, but then it organically, with every heartbeat, is being received by others around us, and it's helping to lift their vibration. And it's like when I see that in the matrix, in the grids and webs of consciousness, it's kind of like I see that heartbeat of light, that pulse of light going down, and it's kind of like it dissolves any density, because the light is so beautiful. It's just so pure. And so it just dissolves everything else, and it brings back this vibrational alignment where you can just be and hold space in any place you are without having to do anything. Just being still is your superpower, really. It's taken me a while to actually be able to not just know that, but to be able to exist in that space of being still is your superpower. I would go, okay, source, okay, yes, I understand spirit, being still. I've got to be still. But what do I need to do? I would constantly come back to what do I need to do? But I don't have to do anything. The question isn't what am I not seeing? What am I not doing? It's just come back into stillness and allow that light to expand, because while we're trying to do and we're trying to output, we're constantly getting in our own way. It's almost like the mental and emotional processing is putting up expectations. So it's kind of like walking down a corridor, because we are thinking and expecting and existing in this, mindset, this belief structure. Whereas if you are just in stillness and you just hold space, then that is like an open sphere. This is just your whole toric field expands out and through, and that's just so much more potential. And it's just, for me, it was so anti being here, because I've always just tried not to be unwell, not to experience pain, not to experience exhaustion. So this last 10 years of being on this spiritual journey and learning to let go of not only my emotional wounds, but what am I here to help heal the ancestors? What am I carrying? What did I agree to? And how do I move through that? And then as I've then opened more and more space to understand and go further and understand my soul mission of being here, and then the connection back into Gaia over this last, 12 or 18 months of understanding my connection to Gaia and those earth grids and the matrix that we're existing in here, and this shift of the old to the new. And what does that all mean? And how is that all going to go? And it's just and I know if you're on this journey, it's magical. It's the highest highs and lowest lows at some time, at any point, because we're facing those shadow aspects of ourselves. But as we release that, then we are able to embody the greater beauty of what that creates. It's like such pure color, like those crystalline colors that create that such stunning sound and harmony within everything we are. It's like living life in perfect tune rather than in the off notes, I guess you could say. I was just thinking of myself singing. I can't sing, but I understand when I hear the perfect tune, and how beautiful that is. So, yeah. I think it's also really important to remember living intentionally. And I guess even coming here now and just being here to connect into very intentional living, that for you to be going somewhere, there has to be that intentional living. So there is a being and being still, but there's also your intention is like your North Star of guiding you where you're going at any given time. And the interesting thing about intention is that often we don't dream big enough. And I think it's not about dreaming stuff into being, it's about how do you want to feel? How do you want to be living life? How do you want to be viewing everything you're viewing? Like there are different ways to connect into and through life. And when you are living assertively in the slipstream because you're living intentionally, meaning that you go to bed and you may be setting intentions like placing that beautiful orb of light around you and inviting your teams in so that you have a deep, restful, replenishing sleep. And through that replenishing, restful sleep, you wake feeling amazing. And then waking up and intentionally going, good morning, like this is going to be a great day. This is going to be a great day. Even, knowing that as you're going into situations that nothing is a problem. Everything is just guiding you to where you need to be. And these attitudes and these concepts, the core beliefs that we're holding on to, the mental concepts that we hold around, the constructs that we have been trained to experience. And I say trained, it's almost like society, our upbringing, we exist in a definitive scaffolding of thought processes generally. And so the spiritual journey for me has been very much about deconstructing so that I'm not living in reactive energy, but rather in assertive energy of manifesting into that which I would like to live. Because I've seen and I've lived and experienced for years and years and years what it is to not thrive. And I don't want to be like that anymore. I just want to help everyone know that there is another way. And it doesn't have to even be complicated because it starts with the very foundational things of just wanting to make a difference and the intentions of how you're thinking about yourself and uh, even on a simple term. Okay, let's, yeah, sometimes energy healing. My hair pulls out a lot in the shower or even not in the shower, it's constantly shedding. And and so I recently started as I was washing my hair, oh, my beautiful hair, thank you, I love you. And really showing gratitude for my hair as I'm, oh, you're beautiful, you're strong, you're growing really, really well. And I reckon the amount of hair loss has been halved at least. I know we all shed, and that's a part of it, but I think it's testament to how we communicate with our body and being kind to self and that consciousness that we're bringing back in to allow it to heal. And even going back further than that again, healing from fibromyalgia and from chronic fatigue and the pattern of really being tough on myself because I was constantly in pain and I was constantly down on myself because I couldn't even meet my own expectations of what I wanted to do in a day, of how I wanted to feel in a day. And it was really about stepping back and going back to such bare basics. Just what can you achieve? What can you do? This year, I think, year at the snake, and that's the number 9 year. It's really about closure of the old stuff, letting go of what's not working, cleansing out. And things have changed, things continue to change. And next year we're stepping into a 1 year, like it's what's new beginnings, what's a new cycle for you. Um, and how's that going to look? Where are you setting your northern star, your compass to its true north so that you're going there? I just think it's so important to be finding an intention and not just floating, because spirit can't help you find direction and find the success that you're looking for and that you want if you're just floating all the time. They show it to me like if you were if you don't have any intentions, it's like wandering aimlessly, just lost in a desert, just like a wasteland, just wandering, lost, constantly, just from one situation to another to another. You're just constantly wandering and you're never finding where you need to be. Whereas if you've got an intention, then you're going to they can help you, they can guide you, but you have to ask. You have to, through intention, through, communicating with them. Talk to my teams in spirit like they're my best friends. And I don't know them by name. I mean, I guess I could connect in and ask them, but I think there's a lot of them. So they show up and, I just thank them and I work with gratitude overall for those that step in at any given time for what I'm working toward at any given time. And I channel an intention into my work diary every single day. And okay, what is my intention for today? And sometimes it simply is, I am that I am. I am enough. Today is going to be a great day. It doesn't have to be complicated. Just walking around outside and noticing the details, noticing and really being grateful for the people that are around you. This energy of gratitude, this energy of, being thankful for what you can do rather than what you can't do, and noticing the details and noticing the shifts in when you have achieved something rather than just moving on without recognizing that you've actually made an achievement and that you had a breakthrough. And that could be mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically, where you've been trying to do something. Take time to celebrate you. Take time to appreciate you. This is really important. It's no small thing that you can be more when you continue to appreciate and recognize and embody, really anchor that sense of achievement and that sense of self-worth back into you, because you did that, and it could just be that you have made incremental changes in your day, in your week, and now you're starting to see some shifts because you're a little bit clearer and you'll be like, oh, I'm not getting tired like I was, or I'm not like this or that. I actually think we're all just got such massive potential. And when we start working with what we've got, the body, the mind, the soul coming into coherence, then then we start tapping into those potentials. They're like just glimmering and they're shimmering all around us, just waiting for us to align into that correct vibration and open up to that. Yeah, it's pretty beautiful, really. Hmm. Anyway, for some reason, this had to be said today, and I hope that you can take from it whatever it is you needed to hear. And thank you for being here. Thank you for being a part of my journey. And till next time, ta-ta for now. Safe and happy holidays to you.